It was a Monday night in February. Too cold. The kind of cold that seeps into your bones and whispers for you to stay inside. On a dark, winding road in rural New Hampshire, a local bus driver named Butch Atwood saw something strange. A car had slid out on a sharp corner, its front end nestled awkwardly into a snowbank. The driver's side airbag had deployed, and standing next to the car was a young woman. Stay tuned and let us know your thoughts in the comments section below. Be sure to subscribe to American True Crime Files Edition on YouTube for chilling stories like this. Let's get into it. He rolled down his window and asked if she was okay. She said she was fine. She said she had already called AAA. No need for the police. Butch, a man of considerable size, felt uneasy. He told her he was going to call the police anyway and drove the short distance to his home to do just that. When the first police cruiser arrived just minutes later, the car was there. The engine was cold. A little wine was spilled inside. The young woman's belongings were in the car: her textbooks, her credit cards, a packed box of her most treasured things. But the young woman was gone. She has never been seen again. This is the story of Maura Murray, a brilliant nursing student, a star athlete, a daughter, a sister, a woman who drove away from her life one afternoon and vanished into the thin, frozen air of the White Mountains. My name is Vanessa Underwood, and this is American True Crime Files. To understand the mystery of Maura Murray, you first have to understand the storm that was gathering in her life in the days leading up to February 9th, 2004. Maura was a 21-year-old nursing student at the University of Massachusetts Amherst. By all accounts, she was a high achiever, a top student, a dedicated member of the UMass track team. She was dating a fellow cadet from West Point. From the outside, her life was a picture of promise. But that picture was cracking. Just days before she disappeared, Maura sent a tearful phone call to her boyfriend. The reasons are still unclear. Then, while working a late-night shift as a security guard, she committed a cardinal sin for a nursing student. She used a stolen credit card number to order pizza. It was a bizarre, out-of-character act of self-sabotage. When she was caught, she was reportedly devastated. Her world was showing fractures. Then, on Thursday, February 5th, Maura's father, Fred, came to visit. They had dinner. They looked at cars as Maura's Saturn was old and prone to problems. They parted ways around 10 p.m. It would be the last time Fred Murray would ever see his daughter. That Sunday, Maura sent a famous email to her professors and her work supervisor. The subject line: death in the family. She said she would be gone for a week. But there had been no death in the family. It was a lie, a cover story. So what was she running from? Or what was she running to? On Monday, February 9th, Maura packed her car. It wasn't a suitcase for a vacation. It was a life packed into a small, black Saturn. She packed her birth control, her favorite stuffed animal, her textbooks, her insurance information. She emptied her bank account of most of its funds. She printed out MapQuest directions, not to a ski resort or a sunny beach, but to the White Mountains of New Hampshire, a region known for its brutal winters and its vast, unforgiving wilderness. She left campus around 4:30 p.m. At 7:27 p.m., a Haverhill, New Hampshire police dispatch log notes a report. A woman had called from a local hotel, crying. She said her sister had just been in a car accident. The connection was bad. The call was dropped. The police tried to call back. No answer. Was it Maura? We may never know. What we do know is that at approximately 7:30 p.m., Maura Murray Saturn, traveling east on Route 112, failed to navigate a sharp corner. It careened off the road, striking a snowbank. The force deployed the driver's side airbag. This is where Butch Atwood sees her. This is where he speaks to her. This is where he leaves to call the police. The timeline from this point is the heart of the mystery. Butch makes his call at approximately 7:42 p.m. The first officer is dispatched. He arrives on the scene at 7:46 p.m. 4 minutes. That's the window. In the 4 minutes between Butch Atwood driving away and the police arriving, Maura Murray vanished. The officer found a locked car, a spilled bottle of soda, and a faint smell of wine. No Maura. He called it in. A search began almost immediately, but they were looking for a scared, possibly injured young woman who couldn't have gone far in the sub-freezing temperatures. They found nothing. No footprints leading deep into the woods. No scent for the dogs to follow. It was as if she had been plucked from the roadside. The official search was massive. State police, fish and game, volunteers. They combed the woods for miles. They dragged nearby rivers. They used helicopters with heat-seeking technology. Nothing. The lack of evidence became its own kind of evidence. If Maura had wandered into the woods disoriented, why hadn't the search dogs picked up her scent? If she had succumbed to the elements, why had no trace of her, not a scarf, not a boot, not a bone, ever been found in over 2 decades of searching? Theories began to sprout like weeds through cracks in the pavement. The first theory is the simplest: the woods. She was disoriented from the crash, panicked about another DUI, and fled into the woods to avoid the police. She succumbed to hypothermia, and her body has simply never been found. It's possible. The woods are vast and dense, but the dogs losing the scent just 100 yards from the crash site has never sat right with many investigators. The second theory suggests a tandem driver, that Maura wasn't alone. She was meeting someone, or someone was following her. After the crash, this person picked her up. This would explain the vanishing act. It would explain the lack of footprints. But who? A secret lover? A friend no one knew about? There is not a shred of evidence to support this. The third theory is the darkest. The wrong place, the wrong time. That Maura, a vulnerable young woman alone on a dark road, accepted a ride from the wrong person. A local, a predator passing through. It's a narrative that fits the terrifying logic of true crime. But again, it's a ghost. There are no witnesses, no suspects, no body. As the ground search failed, the investigation moved online. Maura's computer, her emails, her phone records became the new crime scene. They found a history of searches for vacation rentals. They found emails hinting at relationship troubles. But they also found something else: an online presence. In the years since her disappearance, the case of Maura Murray has become one of the first great internet mysteries. Armchair detectives have analyzed every pixel of every photo from the crash site. This digital shadow has a dark side, harassing witnesses and spinning wild conspiracies. But it has also kept her story alive. So, what happened to Maura Murray? The truth is, we are no closer to knowing today than we were on that cold night in 2004. The case is a void, and every theory is just an attempt to fill it. Did she run away to start a new life? It seems unlikely. She left behind everything she loved. Did she fall victim to the wilderness? It's the most logical conclusion, and yet the complete absence of any physical evidence after all this time defies logic itself. Or was she met with foul play? The timing was perfect for an opportunistic killer. A stranded motorist is the perfect victim. The most haunting question isn't what happened, but why? Why did she lie? Why was she going to New Hampshire? What was the crisis that caused the perfect student to pack her life into a car and drive away without a word? The answer to that question died with Maura on a dark road in Haverhill. The Murray family has never given up. Her father, Fred, dedicated the rest of his life to searching for answers until his own death. Her sister, Julie, continues the fight. Maura Murray is more than a cold case file. She is a warning. A reminder that safety is an illusion, that a single wrong turn can lead to a mystery that lasts a lifetime. She is the lost co-ed, a ghost in our machine. And until her body is found, her story is not over. It's just paused, waiting for someone somewhere to come forward with the missing piece. Subscribe for more chilling true crime stories and real-world inspired dramas. Like, comment, and share. Hit the bell for update on new stories.